Beyond the mirror, the mask that we choose, and the confidence that we find. I still remember the very first time I wore a red lipstick. It was not for a wedding or a party. It was just a Tuesday, just a regular Tuesday. There was no special occasion and no one to impress. But something inside me whispered today, let's try, just once, let's show up differently. So I picked the boldest red, not the basic, not the soft pink, but the boldest red that everyone warned me about. Too loud, they said, too much. I stood in front of the mirror for a long time, longer than usual, and I was not looking at my face. I was looking at my fear. I was not hiding behind a lipstick, and that day I was finally stepping forward. That moment did not make me feel beautiful, that made me feel seen. We often use makeup as a mask, something to hide, to cover up, to fake our way into confidence. A tool of vanity, a ritual of insecurity, a performance for someone else's gaze. And it's not about concealing, it's about choosing how we present ourselves to the world, especially a world that has already made up its mind about us. That red lipstick was not decoration, it was declaration. When you grow up in a world where silence is safety, being too much is always risky, and finding your voice is not easy. And for me, that voice began not with words, but with color. Let's zoom out for a moment. In many cultures, including my own, beauty is tightly regulated. Too little, you are told you have let yourself go. Too much, they label you as attention seeking. In South Asian households, makeup is often a rite of passage, but also a restriction. It's okay if you are getting married, it's fine for festivals. But put on eyeliner to school or apply lipstick for no reason, and suddenly you are asking for it. I remember once I wore mascara to a family function. Nothing dramatic, just a swipe. An older relative pulled me aside and whispered, "You don't need to try, you are already pretty." And in that moment, I realized her comment was not about beauty, it was about control. Because makeup was just not pigment, it was power, and I was stepping into it. We talk a lot about masks, the ones that we wear, the ones society hands to us, and the ones we don't even realize we have put it on. But what if some masks are not lies, some masks are mirrors? Think of a superhero. They don't become powerful because they hide their identity. They become powerful because they step into it with intention. Makeup for me was a way to do that. A way to reclaim agency that tried to write my story even before I picked up the pen. And I'm not alone. Think of the teenager who loves experimenting with eyeliner not to look older or prettier, but because it helps them feel more like themselves in a body that is unfamiliar. Think of the trans woman who learns contouring, not for a male gaze, but to finally see her reflection align with her soul. Think of the bride who paints her lips red, not because tradition demands, but to remember that day with all the vibrancy it deserves. So, for many of us, makeup is not performance, it's permission. I just want to pause here and say that this is not an argument that everyone should wear makeup. Confidence does not require cosmetics, but what it requires is choice that we often forget. We shame people for choosing beauty, for choosing color, for choosing shimmer, and we never stop to ask what they are trying to say that words would not. A drag queen's glitter, protest. A widow's kajal, memory. A teenager's lipstick, liberation. What we put on our face is not always how we want others to see us. It's mostly about how we see ourselves. I used to wear lipstick because I feared invisibility. Now I wear it to honor my presence. I used to think makeup made me shallow. Now I understand it helped me dive deep. I used to believe real beauty is bare skin. Now I know real beauty is whatever that makes you feel most like you. Let me tell you about a friend. She's a trauma survivor. Years ago, she could not look herself into the mirror without flinching. But every day, she started drawing a heart near her eye with an eyeliner, just a tiny one, and it was not about style. It was reclaiming her body, her reflection, her narrative. One day, she told me that little heart saved my life. That's the power of chosen rituals. That's the power of chosen masks. But here's the thing, we all wear masks. Politeness is a mask, professionalism is a mask, strength can be a mask. But when the mask is something that we choose, it does not conceal us, it reveals us. So the next time you are seeing someone with a full face of makeup, resist the urge to judge. Maybe they are not hiding, they are healing. Maybe that shimmer is their shield, the lipstick, their light. Let's stop asking, why do you wear so much makeup? Let's start asking, what does this mean to you? Let's start recognizing that authenticity has many forms, and sometimes it's red and bold and lined in kajal. For me, makeup was never about changing who I was. It was about becoming who I had been, just with more colors. So the next time when I reach out for that lipstick, know that it's not because I need it, it's because I choose it. Not because I'm hiding, but because I'm here. Because beyond the mirror, beyond the shimmer and shades, what you see is not a mask. It's a manifesto. Now I want to talk about something that many people would not expect. How beauty saved me in moments of despair. There was a time in my life when I had stopped recognizing myself, not physically, but mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. I felt disconnected from the person I used to be. I was going through a period of deep burnout, grief, and silence. I did not even know the words to explain it to anyone. I did not even know how to start. But one day I picked up a highlighter. I picked up that highlighter which I hadn't used for months and dabbed it on my cheekbones. As the shimmer caught the sunlight, something stirred in me. I was reminded of warmth, of brightness, of light, and I cried because I had realized I hadn't seen myself shine in a long time. That one moment became a ritual. Every morning before I faced the world, I would give myself 5 minutes, not to transform, but to acknowledge myself. To be present with my reflection, not in judgment, but with softness. Those were not 5 minutes of vanity, those were 5 minutes of reclaiming, of witnessing, of rebuilding. We need to start recognizing how important small rituals are. For some, it's journaling, for some, it's prayers, and for some of us, it could be blush and balm. There is a deep psychology behind beauty rituals. Neuroscience tells us that the act of grooming can activate those regions in the brain responsible for emotional regulation. But we have been conditioned to think that unless something is painful or hard, it can't be meaningful. That unless you suffer, you haven't grown. I want to challenge that. Growth can also come through grace, through color, through joy in a world that often denies us. This is especially important for marginalized communities. In queer culture, for example, makeup has been a tool of visibility, not just expression, but existence. And that's the power I am talking about. It's not foundation or selfish, it's the foundation of self. Think about how society reacts to women who are too much, too loud, too opinionated, too ambitious. The world tries to shrink us with labels: fake, attention seeking, high maintenance. But what if those very traits of ours are strength? I have had conversation with so many people who say, I don't wear makeup because I want people to see the real me. To which I say, this is the real me. Authenticity is not about being raw, it's about being honest, and sometimes honesty wears concealer. Some people use words to speak, and others use color. Some write their stories on paper, some write their stories on lips, on cheeks, on their brows. And neither is more authentic than the other. I just want to leave you with a small exercise. Tomorrow morning, when you look into the mirror, just pause. Don't rush to fix or judge, just pause. Look at yourself, not just the features, but your presence, your energy, your essence. And ask yourself, what do I want to say today? And choose how do you want to say it, whether it's through silence, sparkle, or softness. Because at the end of the day, beauty is not about perfection, it's about permission. The permission to heal, the permission to express, the permission to be exactly who you are, still taking up space with pride. So I don't wear makeup because I'm hiding. I wear it because I'm here, because I've made it. Beyond the mirror, behind the brushes and palettes, is not a woman who's pretending. It's a woman who's claiming, not a mask, a manifesto. Thank you.